wonderful feeling.
Wonderful feeling? The
Yeah,
first day
I
on the
mean,
set?
Linda Bassett, for example, who played my wife, I was seeing her after 10 years. And so Leslie Nichols and the other son who plays my elder son. So it was wonderful meeting them all, you know, after so long.
We started out on this journey doing the play, East is East, in the late 90s. And because you're doing a theatre show, you have a good time to rehearse it, a good time to investigate the characters. So we developed a really good, close relationship. We knew who we were. So by the time we did East is East, you don't get so much rehearsal time on a film, but we already came with, do you know what I mean, with the story, with the relationship.
It was crazy actually because, you know, the original theatre production was, what, 13 years ago? Maybe 4, I don't know, it was over a decade ago anyway. And, you know, I'd sort of forgotten about it really. And then all of a sudden I got a call saying, would you like to play Neelam? And I'd not read the script, but I said yes. I was like, oh my God, yeah, of course, I'd love to.
How did I feel? It didn't really hit me. It didn't even really hit me while I was filming. It didn't hit me when I'm in Toronto. It hit me last night when I watched the film. And I seen my face. And I got the standing ovation, which is really nice. And it hit me a bit now, and it's a bit surreal.
So you must be the most popular kid in school right now, or even in the family.
I already was before the film came out, so
Oh, really?
it was
Really?
all right.
I suppose it's slightly daunting going into an existing family like that, but thankfully they were all very welcoming. And I was a great lover of the first film, so I didn't find it too much of a problem. I quite enjoyed assimilating into the new gang, really. And we took in a few new actors into the family as well, so it became a good process for me.
George Khan in East is East was a tyrant, authoritarian, and I personally felt he had reasons to do that. Because if he was such a tyrant before that, when the film begins, I'm talking about before the film begins, then maybe his wife, who is an English wife, who is an educated wife, she's not a poor little woman from a village and illiterate. She wouldn't have lived with this man for 23 years. They have 6 children. So why he became a tyrant was, when the film begins, he's very happy in East is East, because the eldest son is getting married, he's decorating him, he's very pleased, and when he realizes that the son runs away from the marriage ceremony in front of the entire community, he feels extremely humiliated, embarrassed, all these emotions together, and he doesn't know how to react to this kind of a situation.
I really got into the script, and I just thought, I am Sajid. I'm Sajid, right, George. So I just lived the movie. When you live the movie, it does come natural to you.
What happened was that they did send me East is East, and it's a beautiful film, and I knew who she is just by the film, but I thought in my mind that I have never ever seen George's wife. So I was emotionally getting up till here, and when Ella came, the character Ella, when she came, we both of us, Linda, who played Ella, and Ila, who played Bashira, we refused to meet each other, you know, and we met that day, and I think we seriously thought that I'm Omji's real wife, and she is the person who brought all misery in my life. So I felt very good to be the voice of such women who cannot express themselves. It's a tough role, but a woman who cannot speak for herself, a woman who is looking after her kids and trying to slog in the fields, it's to portray that I'm an Urdu person and I love to be in the fields, and emotionally also it was, I still get the goose pimple. I brought myself up to that where I could do justice to Bashira's character.
The story is set in the Punjab in Pakistan, so we shot in the Punjab in India, which visually is very similar. But yes, we weren't allowed to go to Pakistan, unfortunately. From my work previously, I've got a lot of comedy background and drama, and I like the marriage of laughter and tears. And I think this story and our sensibility was very much about going for that head on. You know, we want people to be crying and then in spite of themselves laughing at the moment, or laughing and then getting the rug pulled down, the emotion drawing them in. And I think Ives' writing appeals in that respect, because the comedy is like a release valve when the tension and the emotion is very high. It's a very family-based drama, and hopefully that dysfunctional family is the same around the world, you know. But the bigger themes of sort of identity and belonging, I think, are what really interests me. And I think, you know, are you a part of where you've come from, where you're living, or is it inside? I think that's a fascinating theme to explore.
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Are you more
I
laid
am,
back
I am very liberal. I respect all religions. And in fact, at home, I see to it that my child, I must tell you an incident. He was only 4.5-year-old. He came back from school and he asked me a question early morning when he woke up. He said, "Baba, are Muslims bad?" I said, there could be some Muslims who are bad, beta, but not every Muslim is bad. Like some Hindus are bad, but all Hindus are not bad. And similarly, any other community. I said, you like Nasiruddin Shah, who's a Muslim, who's a friend of mine. You like him, na? You call him Nasir Taya? He said, yes. I said, how is he? He said, he's wonderful. He's very affectionate, he's very warm, and very nice to me. I said, there you are, he's a Muslim. And I gave him another example of a friend whom he likes. So I said, so this was my way of telling him
there's no difference.
that there is no difference.
Well, Leslie, again, Leslie's been on the journey with us from the beginning, you know, so Leslie is an extraordinary woman. I mean, to get a film like this, fairly low budget, but huge, you know, big scale, to get all those people to India at this time, you know, when there's a world recession, how she managed to get the money together, I really, really don't know. But she's, as I say, she's just determined, and she was going to make this happen.
He is one of the greatest actors of all time. He is going to leave a huge legacy, English or Indian movies, or even Hollywood. So to be working alongside him is, as I said before, surreal. I can't believe that this is happening, because I told the members of my family, look, I'm working with Om Puri, and they're like, shut up, you know, like, wake up. And they're not pinching me, they're punching me, but still, I'm still not waking up, so this must be real, and I don't know, it's just great, isn't it?
Om Puri is a role model. He is a, I mean, he's brought proud to India. He's a person who is so simple to look at, but he's such a great actor. So it's a pleasure and a challenge for anybody to act with him. But I have been doing films with him, but never got chance to do such a major role and play his wife. So this time, and he's a Punjabi himself, so I was very scared that, my God, it will be just, you know, I'll be like a Lilliput, a small person in front of this great actor who's so natural, so full of emotions, and he's a Punjabi.
Waking up early part was hard.
Was staying awake. I can't speak Punjabi. I know, like Sajid, I know all the swear words. I know, where's my dinner? And shut the door. That's all I know. Where's my dinner? Off. Well, I'm not allowed to say that, am I?
We have a very rigid system in the UK when we're shooting, scheduling, everything's very locked down. And in India it's a bit more fluid. So we had to learn to sort of roll with that. And actually, once you go with it, it brings some great moments as well. Things that, you know, a little bit more random and, you know, impulsive moments pop up and you can take them. Plus, coming from the UK with the rain and everything else, working in India with blue skies and sunshine every day was fantastic, and it's quite liberating as a filmmaker.
Here's the thing. I initially wanted to shoot in Pakistan. That would be the most obvious, natural thing to do.
Right.
Problem for me as a producer with that was that in the UK particularly, we can't make a film, can't finance a film without a completion guarantor, insurances, and none of the insurers or the completion guarantor would for 1 second consider allowing us to film in Pakistan, because the reality is it is dangerous territory, whichever way we look at it. So the next obvious thing was to say, okay, what region most closely resembles the Pakistani Punjab is really where, you know, Ayub's, well, it was Azad Kashmir actually where his family came from, but the Pakistani Punjab and the Indian Punjab are actually one and the same place, divided by a false, if you like, or artificial or imposed geographical boundary. It's the same place. So it became a very obvious thing to shoot in the Indian Punjab and pretend we were in the Pakistani Punjab. It was a big challenge, and the other thing is that in the filmmaking cultures, we're very different. In Indian cinema, even in parallel cinema, you very often go without scripts, without contracts, and for us that is a terribly shocking thing. You know, for me as a producer, I would commit suicide if I had to, you know, contemplate the lawsuits coming at me if the contracts weren't absolutely watertight.
And rightfully so.
It was pretty scary stuff. And what we had to do was rather like the two cultures coming together in the film. We had to accommodate each other, learn from each other, be tolerant of each other, because I couldn't come in and just impose and say, I know you don't do paperwork, but you know what, you're going to spend all your day doing the paperwork because I need it to give to my bond company or my financiers. We had to accommodate and negotiate, and we got there and we managed on time and on schedule. They shoot films in 120 days. We had 36 days. We saw about 240 kids. And Aqib was the last boy to walk into the last audition we had planned. And I can only say he was sent by God, because, you know, we had some good choices before we saw him, but nothing that resembled the natural, charismatic perfection of this boy. To me, he is a young megastar. I mean, he's just, and so stunning, and he looks like Sajid. He looks like the original boy. And we couldn't begin to look for a similar, you know, that was the last thing on our minds. We were looking for talent, ability, you know, natural comedy instinct, so many much more important factors than how he looked. And yet the kid he is that boy grown up. It's miraculous. It's one of the miracles that happened on